It's Tuesday, the 26th of July, 2022. Welcome to the Fast Five by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, we've got 5 stories to get through in 5 minutes. 5 cracking stories today, actually. We'll get straight into it. Story number 1, the travel companies are getting some traction among investors. Flight Centre yesterday said things are better than expected, though the company still lost about $185 million last financial year from its ongoing operations.
Yes, but that loss is smaller than forecast because travel has rebounded faster than expected. The travel companies, including the airlines, have lost literally billions of dollars since the beginning of the pandemic, but things seem to be turning around. Flight Centre's share price finished up 3% yesterday. Over the past 6 months, it's up 14%. Webjet's up about 10%. Now, the ASX itself is about even. In fact, it's slightly lower. Now, some companies haven't done so well. Corporate Travel Management and Qantas have tracked much closer to the market. But certainly the companies themselves are much more confident. Qantas CEO Alan Joyce has spoken up Qantas's prospects for this current financial year. Chief Executive Officer of Flight Centre, Graham Turner, yesterday said that demand for travel has accelerated after concerns about the Omicron variant of COVID-19 lessened, and of course, as governments around the world relaxed restrictions. He said he expects the improvement to continue. Really good news for a sector that's struggled for the past 3 years.
Sean, on to story number 2. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has addressed the Labor caucus ahead of the first sitting day of the 47th Parliament, pledging to break the inertia left over from the previous government.
Around the Labor movement, Anthony Albanese is a bit of a rock star. He said Labor had a responsibility to change the country for the better and the party has a significant platform to work on. He highlighted some of the government's signature policies, including its 43% emissions reduction climate target, wage increases, improvements in diplomatic relations in the region, and action on energy policy. Now, Mr Albanese received a standing ovation from the party. Bit of argy-bargy around that 43% target, though. Greens leader Adam Bant yesterday said the number is very weak. The ACT Senator David Pocock said that he thought the emissions target wasn't enough. Now, the government may need both the Greens and Mr Pocock's support to get their legislation through.
Okay, on to story 3, and Crown Resorts will finally open its gaming floor at its $2.2 billion casino in Barangaroo on a date that certainly has not been chosen at random, August the 8th.
Well, apparently that date, the 8th day of the 8th month, is considered the luckiest day of the year for Chinese gamblers. And Double 8 is said to bring joy, hence it's the opening day. It comes more than a month after Crown, which of course is now owned by US private equity giant Blackstone, gained conditional approval from the New South Wales regulator. The casino is specifically designed to cater for VIP high rollers. It comes 10 years after James Packer met with then Premier Barry O'Farrell over lunch at media personality Alan Jones's apartment to build a plan for the casino. Now, Mr Packer has sold out, of course. He still owns a $60 million apartment on top of the complex, and he plans to move in next March.
Okay, story 4. I know, Sean, that you keep an eye on the price of avocados. It seems like you're doing us all a service there. You've mentioned them a few dozen times this year when talking about food prices.
Yes.
There is some good news for you and for everyone who enjoys an avo. Prices are falling.
Yes, it's great news, Michael. Now remember, when I grew up, avos were a treat, and then supply increased. We went through the whole smashed avo phase. Then there were more plantings. Earlier this year, one supermarket CEO boasted that avocado prices would always be low. 2 weeks later, they literally doubled in price. Outrageous. Anyway, they've come back down again with a report by Rabobank yesterday saying supply is up 26% on last year and will keep growing in coming years. There's been a bumper crop in Western Australia. It means, Michael, the not-so-humble avocado is now selling for around $1, about half the average price of the last 5 years, and I'm happy.
That is very exciting news, Sean. Now, story number 5. The Fast Five isn't really a place for peddling gossip, but sometimes the story is just too good to ignore, and when it's delivered by reputable media outlets, it means we can maybe make a little bit of an exception. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that Elon Musk had a brief affair with the wife of one of his best friends. Now, that best friend was Sergey Brin, the founder of Google.
Yes, according to the Journal, it occurred in December last year, and Mr. Brin and his wife, Nicole Shanahan, separated a month later. Mr. Brin and Mr. Musk have been friends for a long time. In fact, back in 2008, Mr. Brin lent Mr. Musk $500 million when Tesla was going broke. He's been a supporter of the Tesla founder forever. Now he's selling all his interests in Musk-related companies. The report says that Mr. Musk begged for forgiveness after the dalliance. Now, I've got to add here, Michael, Elon Musk tweeted afterwards that the report was absolute BS, or false, for those who don't know what that means. Mr. Musk, of course, has 9 children already. Just leave it at that, I think.
All right, well said. That's it. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Tuesday, the 26th of July, 2022. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't enough, then you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.